Hi, how are you today? This is JilliBling, JilliBling.com, and I thought today would be a great day, even though it's a little cloudy outside, to use the new Celebrate Sunflowers bundle. I'm hoping everyone has their new catalog, and at the beginning of the catalog they talk about all the different sweets. And this one I probably should have known before I opened this. I know it's early in the catalog, but it's a really great sweet. It's got quite a few different projects that it features on the pages. But here on page 13 is the Celebrate Sunflowers, and it comes with dies, which is wonderful, and you don't have to color it if you don't want to. So here's the stamp set, and many of the dies, I really like this one. And the next project, I want to use this. Hopefully that will be tomorrow's project. And hopefully this will be one of the monthly projects too. I was thinking of doing this one as a monthly project, but I don't know if it's going to frustrate people because it does take a little bit of work. In the comments, if you can, let me know what you think. Oh, this was cased from Joe Blackman. Thank you for sharing, Joe. It's a really nice card. It's very similar to the no-line coloring that I did with the Ornate Sweets project. And I saw her card, had an idea of how to do it, and so I thought, hey, let me give it a try. Let me know what you think. And it will do just a little bit of coloring. So, to get started, here are the pieces. This is the die that will cut out the sunflower, the die for the leaves, this new ribbon, and it comes in a combo pack. There's a gingham, the solid white, which is almost see-through, and a twine. Can you see how you can kind of see through that? It's really pretty. And pearls, just regular pearls. These are in color enamel dots, and that will be used just for a few of them on the card. That's how Joanne did it. I think she used the epoxy droplets, the frosted ones, but I didn't have any, so I used the pearls, and I think those are just fine. So this paper is for the words. This is for the sunflower. Leaves. Oh, this is a new embossing folder. Let me see if I put it up here. Can you see the texture? It's called Tasteful Textiles, and it's similar to the subtle embossing folder. It's just really subtle. I like it. So that is this right here. We'll run this paper through to get the texture on it. This is for the layer right underneath the sand, and this one is for the inside. So let's get started. So I'm going to start with the sunflower. Not that it's hard, but it's different than the way we usually stamp. Put all these things out of the way. So we'll be using the blends, and I'll list on my blog all the blends, all the colors used. Memento is used for the black words here and here. I was going to color with the blends, but because I'm doing the no line, no need to. Or I was going to color the sunflowers. I'll show you what I mean here in a minute. Okay, so back to, these are the colors for the leaves. Back to the sunflower. Here's the sunflower stamp. Let me keep that near. And I'm going to use 4 different ink pads. Sahara Sand, Daffodil Delight, Soft Suede, and Crushed Curry. You know what, I should put these in order, the way that I'm going to be sponging them. So I'll be sponging them from the center. See how that's dark in there? I'll be using a dauber. Soft Suede, Crushed Curry is more, if you divide the flower into quarters, the very outside edge is sand, the next quarter is daffodil, curry, and then suede. Okay, so I'm going to open all of these up. which normally I don't do because I don't want them to dry, but we won't be using them for long, so it's okay. Okay, there they are. And sand, suede, daffodil, curry. Okay, so take the darkest one, which is suede, and just apply ink. And on the inside, the suede one, it's probably best that that's the heaviest amount of color, if you can really pile it on, because that's what will make all these little dots, the flower center, show up. Can you see how I'm just getting the inside part, and you can see the color going on to the red rubber? Okay, so that should be enough. And then next is curry. And this is going to go right outside of that center flower ring. And I'm purposely going a little bit into the area where I'll put the daffodil because I could kind of blend them. Oop, here comes a little dog. Hello. Bo is wearing a cone, and he's very noisy wherever he goes, because the cone, he is like, what do they call it, a bull in a china shop? He just whips his head around like a, it's in my way, and he hits everything because it's so big. He, years ago, had a little accident, and he recovered from the accident, but he has kind of a bald spot on his hip, and he got one tiny scratch on it, and he turned it into a big old ouch. So he has to go in a cone. Okay, so when you do the sand, do it around the outside edges, but don't do it too heavy. If you do it too heavy, you'll see too much of the line on the outside. Okay, so I have this all daubered. I don't know if that's a word. And I'm going to huff on it. I'm trying to get moisture from my breath to moisturize the inks, so when I stamp it, I get a good image. And here's my Whisper White cardstock. I tell the girls in class, if you have some bad breath or if you ate onions, it's gonna work really good. Okay, so my fingers are crossed. Look at that. I was happy that one came out good. The other ones I did, they came out a little bit too light or splotchy. But look at the colors in that. So, you see where I'm going with this here? And when you look at this from afar, it looks like there's no line, it's just a sunflower. And we are achieving it. Woohoo! Okay, so I'm going to close these up, and I'll do just a little bit of coloring. I'm not going to have you wait for me to do all the coloring because I don't want to lose your interest. But I'll just give you an idea of how to do the coloring so you know. Okay, and you know what, before I start doing the coloring, I'm going to do the leaves. Leaves are on this paper. Oh, and you know what, my mossy metal isn't working so good. I have a new one coming, but I'll try it anyhow. So here is mossy, and this one is olive, and those are done on this stamp. So I'll start with a darker one. I'll do darker down here at the bottom, and I'm going to do 2 leaves. Then this one is old olive, and once again you just want to apply color so you know where to do the coloring, And it would be nice to see some of the, well, that didn't turn out. My mossy meadow, which was supposed to be darker, didn't turn out dark. So, with that said, and you could do this too. You could even do this with a sunflower. Bang! That's what I'm I'm going to color in, is that right there and that right there. Okay. So, image is done. Now it's time for a little bit of coloring with the blends. So, I'm going to start with the center. In the center, I'm going to do, the colors I have here are Suede, Crumb, Daffodil Dark, Saffron Dark, Saffron Light. I'm going to start with the darkest and go around the edges. And this is kind of coloring over all that fine detail, all those little dots, which is kind of a shame. But when you get the rest of it colored in, all the other colors will let these little detailed dots show through. So I'm just going around the outside edge. And then also on this one, I took my suede and I went up into some of to identify the petals, like in the dark spots, the shadows. And you could do this with one of the darker yellows or a lighter one of the browns, because I'll continue these lines. Boy, I'm ending up coloring all this. Well, I hope it's showing you how to do it. I love the blends. I love the new ink colors too. I kind of wish I had that cider one because I think it would be perfectly in my little brown to yellow lineup. Okay, this one is Soft Suede Light. And you could use either end you like. I always just prefer this end. I don't know why. Okay, so I'm going a bit of a layer toward the center on the flower center. Trying to blend it a bit. See how that's turning out. And then I'll do a little bit in here. See, how did I do that? I kind of made a little bit of a ring. And maybe dots. Continue that dot pattern. And that will kind of soften the transition between colors too. Okay, I'll do just part of the flowers after I get done with the center. And then I'll continue some of these petals to identify each individual petal. Actually, this suede light looks really good for this portion of outlining the little petal leaves. Is that good for now? Okay. Dots and dots. Okay, so next color is Crumb Cake Dark. So that will be the next layer in. And I'm purposely doing it a little crazy, so it's not just a whole bunch of bullseye circles. And then, let's see, should I continue with any of these? That suede light was really nice. Okay, That's good. Now, next is Crumb Cake Light. And this is going to fill in the rest of the center. And then I'm going to go right here at the edge of the Suede Light, or I guess that's Crumb Cake Dark, and the white, just to soften it up. That's looking good. This other one looks a little darker, but I think this is fine. Okay. And then to give it a bit of a yellow hue, I'm going to put some Daffodil Dark. Definitely in the middle. Okay, so now that I have the Daffodil Dark, I will do, how about just this section right here. I'm just choosing one, I don't know. And I'm going to go up on the veins of the petals, and then definitely in the cracks, the low points of each additional petal. And I'm going to purposely try to leave a bit of white at the tips. So I'll just do this little section here because I don't want to spend too much time coloring. Okay, I'm just going to color that little bit. It's really hard to hold back. This one is Saffron Dark. So this one, I'm going to go a little bit beyond the daffodil, but I'm going to leave room for the Saffron Light and leave room for the just no color white. So I'm trying to blend the darker color, that my prior color. And notice how I did the yellow right around that tip, which makes it really stand out. I like that. Okay, so there's one more color to go. And again, I'm going to try to leave, open the big end. Well, let me try it. That works just fine. Maybe I need to use that brush tip more often. And again, I'm trying to leave that white tip. Like the sunshine is hitting it. Okay, so you see it coming to life? Isn't that pretty? So then there's a die. To line up this die, looking at what's different about it is right here. It looks like the petals start going different directions, and that seems to be what's happening here. So I put that there and there. Run it through the Big Shot. I have this one, all colored, all cut out. And you know, when I cut out this flower, I didn't line it up very good, so I had to use my scissors to trim it. Either way, it's fine. Do you notice how I put more of the dark, the suede, in through here, and this one I didn't? Which one do you like better? I like both of them. I don't know. Okay, so we are done with the coloring. Oh, and then the coloring of the leaves is the same process. You do the dark, try to pick up some of the detail in the leaves, and then just fill in the rest of it with the olive. And that's how I did this. And there's a die with a piece of washi tape. I learned my lesson to cut that out on the Big Shot. So there's my leaves. Okay, so let's see what other papers. Here is the base paper folded in half. And next is this white. My new adhesive from Stampin' Up! Is on the way. It comes in 2 different varieties, and I got both of them and a refill for both of them. I like new. Okay, so there's that. And this starts out flat. Run it through the Big Shot. Here it is. Ooh, so which side should be up? Oh, they're both very similar. I think this one has a little bit more texture. Therefore, this one is up. Okay. So, these pieces are going to go on here. And the ribbon, I showed you how nice this is, huh? Here's a piece of ribbon I cut to size. And you know, at first when I went to attach it, I was putting dimensionals, which I will need, all over on the back here. And I was trying to, I'll show you. I'm putting them more on the inside so I have room to tuck the leaves underneath. So at first I was taking this and I was putting it on here, and then I was arranging it. Oh, didn't work out. So what I found that works, this is all going to be covered. Now when I put the ribbon on, I want this piece to land right about there. I want the loop to be, you know what, that's kind of rolling. Let me turn it this way. Okay, so that piece there. This one is going to kind of put it at a little bit of a different angle to get that loop on there. This one I'll have it go right about here. Okay, so now it's on. That was much easier than what I was trying to do earlier. Which side is up on the flower? I don't know. But because this is where the separation is, I'm just going to pretend like that means it's the bottom. I have no idea. I don't know. Put it right about there. So these leaves can go on dimensionals. Do you use the edge of your dimensionals too? They work just fine. Actually, they work really good. Sticky, sticky. Okay, one more. So, tuck these in. How about right here? And there, looks good. So for the words, I'm going to use Memento, and I'm going to put them on this paper. Let's celebrate you. So did you see my video on the last paper pumpkin where I showed the tricks about the nail file and the stamp? This wasn't working very well at all. So I did my little nail file trick, and it stamps beautifully now. So if ever you have a hard time getting a good solid image, use your nail file. But first watch the video on the last paper pumpkin, because there's a bit of a disclaimer. I don't want you to ruin your stamp. But look how nice and solid and dark that came out. Happy, happy. Okay, so that's done. I'm going to cut that out. And while I have this black, how about, well, let me see what words are in the Let's Celebrate You. Thanks a bunch. I think that should be on the outside. Know that you're loved. Oh, I like that. Congratulations on reaching a whole new level of wonderful. Oh, that's nice too. I think on the sample I did Know that you are loved. Yeah. Oh, and then the little sunflowers. Let me see. I'll just do this one just to be different. And that's going to go on this paper right at the top. That's pretty. It's a little crooked. I'll try one more time. Oh, now that I have black ink on me, I certainly will try one more time. How does that happen? That's better. So now I will do the curry for the sunflowers at the bottom. And I was going to get all fancy and do more coloring with blends, but that's going to end up taking too long. Sometimes after spending all that time coloring the front, I don't want to do more coloring. When I'm stamping this in the curry, I want just the sunflower. I don't want to get the leaves in there because I think the leaves deserve to be green. And that would be a whole bunch of more steps. And that looks good just like that. I'm not sure how I got that smudge on there. If you have a sand eraser, it will take it off or at least lighten it. That's better. Okay, so the inside is done. Well, this didn't take too long. Okay, inside done, inside done. So the words, these take your snips and just leave a little bit of border. Trim around all of the letters. Then it looks like this. And this, I'm going to put a couple of half dimensionals on and then glue dots. Mini dimensionals. Cut a mini in half just because it's so narrow. Oh, I cut this one small. But this is working out just fine. Here's the glue dots. That one I'll just roll it under the other side because it's too big. Okay. Okay, 3 glue dots, 2 dimensionals. And I'm going to have it in the center, kind of close to the side. Dimensional, dimensional, glue dot, glue dot. Make sure it's straight. Okay. And the last step is attaching the pearls and the enamel dots. Oh, you know these cider ones, those probably would look good on here too. Yeah, those, my markers are coming. It's in picking status. I'm ready to have markers now. The new in-color markers. You could put your pearls wherever they go, whatever you like. But just so they're not in a pattern. Okay, there it is. Isn't that nice? I really like this no line coloring. Actually, there is a line, it's just really faint. And many times I've seen it where it's so faint that the color is equal to what you're coloring with. So for instance, I would do the whole thing in saffron, like a really light saffron. I tried it, I stamped it too light and I couldn't see the line and I got frustrated. So that's why mine is a little darker, but I like it. I think it shows up the leaves just fine. So what do you think? If you can, leave a comment, give me a thumbs up, a like, then I know which projects you like. And also, if you can, hit the subscribe button, and then whenever I post a video, you'll be notified and you'll have a little bit of creative inspiration. Okay, I hope you have a great day, and tomorrow I'll do another sunflower project, and I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, bye.